Our next speaker has been in marketing for 6 years. She's currently the head marketer at, or she's the head of marketing, She's the head of marketing at Mashpaw, Sofia Dvoynos.
Hi, everybody. My name is Sofia. I'm from Mashpaw. We're a company from Ukraine. There is Ukraine. We are located in Kiev, so it has been rough lately. Our company has been in the market for 6 years, and I started there when it started 6 years ago, and we were only 3 people. There were 2 developers and myself. I was doing customer support, and I was trying to do marketing. So when I did the presentation, this is our company, by the way. When I started the presentation, I thought, what will be useful for me 6 years ago? Like, what I didn't know then, and I didn't know much back then about marketing, and what will be useful for me to be able to do things quicker. So I thought that the part that was the most difficult for me was the marketing plan. I had no idea how to start. And how many of you promote your products? How many of you are marketers? Not many, thank God. Yeah, because my presentation actually is more for developers and for developers who haven't tried to promote their products yet. So it's pretty basic. It might have some things that marketers can read, but it's pretty basic. And when I started, actually the presentation is 20 pages. I did 20 pages of a document. So I have everything in the blog. We just posted on our, so it's mashpaw.com/blog, and there you have all the 7 days. This is all the 7 days marketing plan that you can do. Everything can be done in 1 day. It has step-by-steps. It has links. It has information on what you need to do. So here I have only 30 minutes to explain everything. And we'll start with, this is the plan. The first day, basics preparation. I think it's the most boring day, but it should be fine. Then the second day, insight optimization. Third day, distribution. Day 4, review, request, and PR. Day 5, email marketing. Day 6, advertisement. And day 7, data analysis. As you can see, what I'm showing here in marketing actually is not rocket science. It's not like that thing that the guy before me was saying. That must be much harder to do. So what my recommendations are for small companies is that you don't really need to have like a marketing guru from the beginning. You can have a person that tries to do things, that reads a lot, that tries to promote the products, because you can do it yourself. There is lots of information right now. 6 years ago, it was a little bit harder, but right now there are lots of information. And actually, the main thing is that there are too much information, and it's hard to know exactly what to do. So what's that? I did this 7-day plan with things that I know that we have done before, that it worked, that it was easy, and it was fast to do. So you can do it in 7 days. So let's start. And it has also like do and don'ts. And on the don'ts, I have a lot of our own failures. I mean, not failures, but there were things that we didn't know how to do back then, and that shouldn't be done. You'll see. Oh, sorry. So yeah, day 1. So on day 1, we have basic preparations. You need to start analyzing competitors. You can start, actually, there are a lot of marketing blah blah, like market research and know your market size and segmentation and SWOT analysis and things like that. But that takes months, lots of work, and it's something that we didn't do for maybe the first couple of years because we didn't know how to do it. So I think that you can start without it. Then eventually, if you get a marketer or if you go into that, then you need to do it, of course. But right now, the basics are analyze your competitors. See who are the people out there, who are your main competitors. You need to have a spreadsheet on the blog post. I have the link for this basic template of competitor analysis. So this way you will see who are out there, who are the rest of your competitors, what's the price, what are the features, what you don't have, what do you have that they don't have, and things like that. It's very important to know what is your the proposition that you have that nobody else has. Maybe you can work around on that. Maybe your price is lower than the rest, and then you need to see about the pricing. Maybe you are available on the App Store, they are not available, or otherwise. Your competitors, for example, you are only on the Mac App Store, and they are not there. By the way, our company, I forgot to show this. These are our products. Our main product is Clean My Mac, and our main sales are outside the Mac App Store. So, and we have OS X applications mainly. We have only one iOS. So all of my speech is mainly for OS X developers. It might be useful, of course, for iOS, but most of them is for OS X and for marketing outside of the App Store. So back to our competitor analysis. All of this is on the blog post, and you can see all the things that you need to fill out. And this way you will see what's your market, what people are doing there. After you see a tool that I use and that I personally recommend is SEMrush. I ask them to give me a discount for you. So on the blog post, you will see a link where you can go and you will get 2 months for free of the Pro account. It's very useful to research competitors. I don't work for the company, so it's not advertisement for them, but it's very useful, and I really recommend it to use it. So the second step, after you have all your competitors, you should do a keyword research. Personally, I hate keywords, but we live with them. So you need to figure out first, see what people are looking to find you. You use Google Webmaster Tools. So hopefully everybody has a site, right? And you all use Google Webmaster Tools? No? Yeah, that's bad. You should get a site. A site is very important. It's where you can drive traffic to. And Google Webmaster Tools is very basic to set up. You have all the information on the blog. So on Google Webmaster Tool, you can see, for example, for keyword research, you can see what keywords people are getting to your site from using Google. You can see all the keywords that people are typing to get to your website. It gives you lots of information. It gives you information, what do people need your product for, how they are searching for it, what keywords you need to optimize. And you can use SEMrush to find what keywords your competitors are using. Maybe you can find a keyword, for example, let's talk about our product Clean My Mac. It's a system utility. So we saw what keywords are our competitors using. For example, the main one is Clean Mac. So we try to search for those keywords that they are not really using, and they have a fair amount of impression on Google. So you optimize for those words better. Don't try to use keywords that are very generic, because those keywords have a lot of traffic, but it's very hard to optimize for them. Keyword research actually is pretty long. You can see everything on the blog that I posted, and if I start here to explain it, it will take me the whole 30 minutes. But the main thing is that it's very important to do that you need to optimize every page for 2 or 3 keywords. If you try to do more keywords on one page, you won't be able to optimize the page for those keywords. They won't be on the first places on Google. And SEO optimizing, also a thing that I don't really like, but it gives you a lot of traffic. So I really recommend you looking into that and doing optimization of your website and doing a website, because I don't know how can you live without it. The next thing, copywriting. So here I really recommend you to have a template of descriptions of your products. That template can be used everywhere from the website to description on the Mac App Store or iTunes Store. It can be used on download sites that I will be talking later. It can be a speech elevator, elevator pitch, yeah. An elevator pitch that you can use when people ask about your product, and it needs to contain your main keywords. Remember to always add those keywords on your descriptions. And then I thought that we also need to start with social media. Social media is very important to get out there to the audience. But don't try to go in every social media. You won't have time, especially if you're one person or two person. We have a person that does all the social media, and it's 40 hours a week doing so. So if you want to start there, if you want to reach your audience, you have a place that people can write about, give you feedback, for example, and things like that, you should start with Twitter. It's the easiest one. It takes very little time. You should optimize it for keywords as well on the description on Twitter. And then start talking to your audience. In the blog post, you can see a lot of tips on how to increase your audience, because of course you do a profile and you will have like 2 followers, yourself and your mom. But you can try to interact with people on social media, or see what people are saying about your product, see what they are saying about competitors, give your opinion on things. But don't go with the controversial things, of course. If you're doing a company profile, just stay specific. So the don'ts. The don't is never use generic keywords. Generic keywords, you cannot see the things there, but the guy is typing sex. So generic keywords they do have a lot of traffic, but it's almost impossible to be on the first place on it. So try to have longer tail keywords and to optimize for them. Another thing is never use complicated words and sentences on your description, because not everybody on your audience are English-speaking people. I mean, I speak English, but it's not my native language, so lots of time when our copywriter writes something and he likes to put some American humor in it, I'm like, I don't understand it. And if I don't understand it, other people won't understand it. So stay always simple. If you have, depends of course of what product you have. Our product is B2C, to customers. And we try to make it very simple. It's not a very geeky application, so maybe if yours is, you should use it, but mainly if your audience is more general, you should stay with simple. Always stay with simple. Read the phrases that you are writing, and if you understand it on the first time, then use it. If you need to read it 2 times, it's bad, and you need to rewrite it. And then never create social profiles for your company or product that you don't use, because it's better to not have a Facebook page that have one with 10 likes and a post of 2 years ago. That's very bad. You better remove it. That's the first day. So actually, it's a lot of work. You can see it, everything on the blog post, but it's doable. Second day, site optimization. So again, get a site, please, because people will get there, and it's easier to optimize in case that you are. How many of you are iOS developers? Oh my. And OS 6 developers? Yeah, those are my guys. So yes, for iOS and for if you are on the Mac App Store, it's very hard to optimize your page for keywords for Google. So it's way easier to optimize it, to optimize your site, of course. And then, so get a site, please. And basic SEO, use Google Webmaster Tools, as I mentioned. There are a few things that can be done very easy. For example, you should always optimize the meta tags. Meta tags are those things that you see when people search for something in Google, and you see the title and the description. That needs to be optimized. You need to have on the title always your main keyword. And during the description, you need to give value to the user. You need to have a CTA, call to action, I'm sorry. Always have like try now or download now or things like that, read in there. Set up Google Analytics. Google Analytics is very important. It gives you lots of data. It gives you data of what your audience is, what they are looking for, where are they from, which is very important, and what sources are, I will talk about analytics a little bit later. And on your website, always add call to actions. Are you familiar with call to actions? It's like download now, or try now, or give it a try. I don't know. I'm nervous and I cannot remember all of them right now. There are examples on the blog. but always have call to actions on your site. You have a page and you want the user to do something on that page, always put it on a banner or on a button, I'm sorry. So call to actions are very important and are everything. Remember to add social buttons as well. They are very important to share content and to optimize the meta tags for the content, because you want people sharing interesting things about your products. And another thing that I recommend is that you should have an about in your website, because people like to see who are the people behind this product. In our case, for example, we had an about with a lot of pictures, and everybody can see who are working in your company. If you are one or two people, just say where you are located, why you started this, what was the main thing that you started. What you don't need to do, don't overuse keywords. I mean, you have your list of, let's say, 30 keywords, and 30 is a very short list. Actually, SEO optimizer guys, they have thousands and thousands of keywords, but don't overuse keywords. Remember that you need to optimize your page for 1 to 3 keywords maximum. Don't use more than 2 call to actions. I mean, a person gets to your site and you want either them to download, or you want to directly to buy, or you want them to subscribe. But don't add all those call to actions in one page, because they won't work. And remember to have your call to action over default. It means that when a person gets to your page, to your website, it needs to before scrolling, it needs to see what you want, what is your main call to action, what you want them to do. I mean, download, for example, in our case, as we have a trial, they can download our application, and then when they try and see how amazing it is, they will buy it for sure. Other thing that you don't need to use, don't write long and complicated content, and don't do duplicate content. Don't take the content for other sources, because Google will know it and they will ban you. And check in Google Webmaster Tools, you can check for duplicate content on your website in case that you have a lot of pages. And please don't buy backlinks. Don't do black hat SEO. Are you familiar with black hat SEO? It's like, it's when webmasters or marketers, they buy backlinks. Backlinks, it means that people are linking to your site from other sites, but if they link from sites that are not trusted by Google, or they can see that obviously it has nothing related to your product, for example, they link to Clean My Mac from, I don't know, beauty blog or something like that, and they see that it doesn't make sense to be there, then they think that you bought that backlink, and you can lose all your positions. The last time that Google had an update, the latest Panda, like 2 weeks ago, and one of our competitors, they lost almost all of their positions now, which is good for us, because we don't do black hat SEO. Yeah. That, again, in the blog, you have all the step-by-step. The third day, the optimize the distribution of your product. Here I will talk a little bit about DevMate. DevMate is, we have our application that we sell, and we have a new project that we did. We did it from tools that we used since the beginning. At the beginning, we had lots of problems with distribution. We had a lot of frameworks to do activation, to do crash reports, to do lots of stuff. So we decided to have all these tools and all this in a distribution platform for OS 6 developers for now, where you can do everything in one place quicker. And for example, well, let's start with this. Use multiple distribution platforms. Remember to not stay only, this is for iOS, you stay only in the iTunes stores, unfortunately. But OS 6, you can go outside of the Mac App Store, like my t-shirt store. And to be honest, outside of the Mac App Store, everything is easier. You can track everything. You can buy advertisement and not be afraid that you cannot optimize it. For marketers, the Mac App Store, it's pretty hard to optimize. So go outside the Mac App Store. And in case that you are outside, you should go inside, unfortunately, because the Mac App Store, lots of people use it as well. It's pretty convenient from the users. Then there are things like download sites. like, for example, Mac update or CNET download, Softonics, and things like that. That give us a lot of traffic as well, free traffic. So make sure to have it. In the blog post, I have a list of the top 10 download sites that give us more traffic. They do have iOS, the possibility to list iOS application there as well. So make sure to list your product on all the download sites. Make sure your application is available 24/7 in case that it's outside of the Mac App Store. This, we had a problem when we had an update, for example, from the first to the second version of our product. Suddenly we had so much traffic that our site was almost going down, and we were very afraid then, I remember, and we made it, but it's very important to have a reliable CDN where you can host I'm sorry, I'm a marketer, not a technical person, where you can host your application and it's always available. So for that in DevMate, we use Amazon. It's not the cheapest one, but you cannot what's the word? Anyway, you need to spend money on that to have your download always available. Another thing is very useful for us, especially for new version, is beta testing. Beta testing is implemented in DevMate. It's very useful that you can have your beta build, send it to your beta tester. They will give feedback inside the application itself. You will see all that feedback in one place, and you can reply to the users. And beta testing has been one of our key things for our applications in order to release an application that the end user will like. Yeah, and don't waste time. If you are going outside of the Mac App Store, you can automate everything that I mentioned, licensing, crash reports, beta testing, and lots of things using DevMate. You can check it on our website. Don't stay exclusively on the Mac App Store and ignore crashes. This is a painful thing for me because the last two, like when our developers came to WWDC, they decided that they wanted to release a hotfix of the application and then take a plane, all of our developers. So suddenly I see that sales are going down and we're going crazy, and I decided I need to go to DevMate and see what's going on, and I see the crashes going like that, and all of the developers were at the plane, and I was going crazy. And then I remembered that on DevMate you can easily take out the latest update, and I do what's the word? I put the previous version available. Revert, thank you. Yes, it's very important. I added actually this yesterday only because, yeah, I'm not having time. PR is very important. Read journalists, create a story about your product. Tell them why you did it, why it's so important. Don't sell them just information about the product. Create a history on it. Research relevant journalists. On our blog post, I have the top 10 sites that gave us the most traffic from journalist reviews. Go to those websites, see who wrote about your main competitors, and reach them. Don't reach people that write about other stuff. Reach the journalists that write about the theme related to your application. Build relationship with journalists. Is there any journalists here? No? Good. So reach them. Twitter, you can follow them on Twitter. You can follow them on Facebook. Try to engage on conversation with them. They really like it, actually. And then when they see you in some event, they will recognize you, and that's cool, especially with the big guys, MacRumors, for example. And plan your PR campaign in advance. If you're planning a release, a big release, plan who you are going to reach, what you're going to say. Don't run massive outreach before you have the product ready. That's one of the things that we unfortunately did a few times. Like our developers told marketing, hey, we will have the product ready in, let's say, March. So we buy a lot of advertisement, we reach a lot of journalists, and then developers say, oops. Yeah, so don't reach the journalists before you already know that that is approved on the Mac App Store, that you will release it. Don't send templates to journalists. They don't like it, especially the big guys, and don't spam them. Send one time, send them an email. If they don't reply, send them an email in a couple of days. If they don't reply, just do nothing. Reach them the next time. Because if you will spam it, they will block you and it will be worse for you. Email marketing, very important thing. Maybe at the beginning, if your application is small and you have few customers, you cannot see it. But you should start collecting emails, especially if you're on the iOS, in iTunes that you don't have information from your user, or on the Mac App Store. Put collection emails in your software, put it on your website, on your landing pages, everywhere that you can, because collecting, having information about those customers is priceless. You can do lots of stuff with that. You can reach them to let them know about new products that you have done. You can do cross-sale with other companies and things like that. Email marketing is very important. I recommend you to use MailChimp. MailChimp is, for low volume sendings, it's pretty cheap. It's like $50 if you have less, I think, that 5,000 emails. For high volume, it's expensive. We don't use it. We actually got banned, but I will talk about that on the next slide. Segment into your list. Don't send emails like, for example, buy this product when a user already has the product. You should do it maybe on the future, not at the beginning, but always segmentate. Don't forget about your subscribers. Send them at least one monthly email, because they will forget. Then when you will send an email, they will unsubscribe, and that will be bad for you. Pay attention to your stats. MailChimp shows you all those stats, very useful. Open rate, click-through rate, and unsubscribe rate. You can read about it on the blog post. I have links about explaining all of these things. Why we got banned from MailChimp. So we imported email, not that we didn't collect. We decided after a couple of years, hey, we have a lot of users. We have a lot of email. Why don't we email them? So we took all of those. We didn't really ask those users to subscribe to our mail list. I mean, they bought our products. We thought, we have their emails. We should email them. So we exported those emails, imported it to MailChimp, sent an email, and of course we have a lot of bounce rate. We had a lot of unsubscribes, and MailChimp said, sorry, we don't want to work with you. I tried to reach them to say, hey, we are nice people. We were just beginners, and we didn't know better, but they never unbanned us. So that's the story. So don't do that. Always subscribe your users. Always keep your list updated. It's very important. I didn't know it back then, and it is very important to have everything there clean. Don't send too often emails, and don't send emails without testing. Another thing that we did once, and we sent an email and nothing clicked on it, and it was a bad day that day. Advertise your product. The easiest and the cheapest way is to use Google search. You have your keywords, you have what people are looking for, advertise it. Try different keywords, work with countries, work with languages, and always create landing page. Please don't send your advertisement to your home page. It will be useful. Create a landing page for the keywords that you are advertising. Like if people is searching for how to speed up my Mac, I'm saying about our product, you need to send it to a landing that explains how to do it. Don't send it to a landing that explains how to uninstall applications. And of course, always analyze result. Our fail here is once we forgot to add money to Google AdWords and everything stopped, and it was very bad. So don't forget to use it. Google AdWords actually gives you $75 for free when you spend $25 on the first time. So I recommend you just try. It's very easy to use. Just try and see how it works. Maybe it will work. Maybe it won't. And analyze your data always. On the 7th day, you need to take time to see Google Analytics. We had on the 2nd day, you set up Google Analytics, so now you need to analyze it. Google Analytics might be overwhelming at the beginning, and it's crazy how many things you can see there, but in the blog post, you can see the easiest things, the easiest report that you should pay attention to. I wanted to explain here, but unfortunately, I don't have much time. You can read it on the blog post. Actually, the things that I showed there, they are very easy to use, very easy to understand, I'm sorry. These are the reports, everything is on the blog post, what you should check. For example, what languages, where people are coming from, what landing pages are they liking, where highest conversion rates, and things like that. please check out the whole presentation on our blog, on my blog post. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. And we have about DevMate, the platform for developers that we have. We will have a workshop on Thursday. So make sure to be there. I'll be there. You can ask any questions that you might have about the presentation or about DevMate. DevMate is very useful for OS X developers that want to get out of the Mac App Store or that want to optimize their distribution. And that's ORCAD at our office. Yeah, if you have any question, email me, please, or I'll be outside. Maybe I can help with something. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to take a quick